Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to look at problems that involve square roots. If you've completed the previous videos, Intro to Square Roots and the polynomial videos, this lecture will be a lot easier for you. So example 1, a rectangular prism has a base of 4s by 5s. If the height is 5 centimeters and the volume is 400 centimeters cubed, what is the value of s? So we're looking at our volume here, length times width times height. We know that the length is 4s and the width is 5s and the height is 5 centimeters. So our given volume is 400 from the problem. So 400 equals 4s times 5s times 5, like that. That gives 400 equals 100s squared. Divide by 100 on both sides, s squared equals 4. Square root both sides, and so we get s equals plus or minus 2. And now we know that s cannot be a negative length, so we reject that answer, and so the value of s is 2. Example 2. The shaded section has an area of 81 meters squared. What is the value of c? So the whole area is 5c times 3c minus 3c times 2c, right? The larger minus the smaller rectangle, like that. And so this gives us 15c squared minus 6c squared, which gives 9c squared. And we know that the area is 81. So 9c squared equals 81. Divide by 9 on both sides. C squared equals 9. Square root both sides, so c equals plus or minus 3. So c is 3 or c equals negative 3. We reject the negative 3 because we don't have negative lengths in our problem here. So the value of c is 3. Example 3. A triangle has a height that is twice the length of the base. If the area of the triangle is 25 centimeters squared, what is the height? So here we have area of a triangle, half BH. We know that h is twice the length of the base, so 2b, like that. And we know that the area is 25. So looking at our equation here, we plug in a with 25 and h with 2b. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we have 25 equals b squared. Square root both sides, b equals plus or minus 5. So b equals negative 5 is rejected because we do not have a negative length. And the question is, what is the height? So height is 2b. We found b to be 5, so h is 10. So the height is 10 centimeters. Example 4. The surface area of a sphere is 144 pi centimeters squared. What is the radius? So the equation for a surface area of a sphere is s equals 4 pi r squared. So this is given. We know that s is 144 pi, so we plug that in as such. We want r squared on its own, so we divide by 4 pi on both sides. So we get r squared equals 36. Square root both sides to isolate for r, so r equals plus or minus 6. We reject the negative 6 length because it's not a negative length, like that. So the radius is 6 centimeters as such. Okay, time for some practice. Practice number 1. A triangular prism has dimensions b equals 3u, h equals 4u, L equals 5 centimeters, with a volume of 120 centimeters cubed. What is the value of u? And as a reminder here, it tells us the equation v equals half bh times L, like that. So go ahead and pause the video and answer this question. Okay, and we're back. And so we see here v equals half bhl. We know v is 120. We know that b is 3u, h is 4u, and L is 5, like that. So this gives us 30u squared equals 120. Divide by 30 on both sides to get u squared on its own. Square root both sides to get rid of the square, and so we have u equals plus or minus 2. We reject the value of u equals negative 2 because there's no negative lengths in our problem, and so the value of u is 2. Practice number 2. So here we have triangle within another triangle. The shaded section has an area of 162 centimeters squared. The large triangle has a height of 5c and a base of 3c. The small triangle has a height of 3c and a base of 2c. What is the value of c? Go ahead and pause the video and answer this question. Okay, we're back. And so from the problem, we know h for the big triangle, capital H, is 5c, b is 3c, little h is 3c, and little b is 2c. So the area is the big triangle area minus the small triangle area. So we plug in a as 162, big B as 3c, big H as 5c, little b as 2c, little h as 3c, like that. So we get 15c squared over 2 minus 6c squared over 2. And so we can look at this as 15 apples minus 6 apples. You see here that they're like terms. And that gives us 9c squared over 2. And we want c squared on its own. So this 9 here, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to divide both sides by 9. And so we get c squared over 2 equals 18. We want to get rid of this over 2, so we go times 2 on both sides. C squared equals 36. And now the opposite of square is square root. So we square root both sides. C equals plus or minus 6. And in our problem, c has to be positive. So we reject the negative value here. And so c equals 6. The value of c is 6. Okay, last problem here. Practice number 3. The surface area of a sphere is 196 pi centimeters squared. What is the radius? And the equation here, surface area of a sphere, S equals 4 pi r squared. So go ahead and pause the video and answer this question. Okay, we're back. So we have S equals 4 pi r squared. We know S is 196 pi. Divide both sides by 4 pi. We get r squared equals 49. Square root both sides and we get r equals plus or minus 7. The radius cannot be negative, so we reject that answer. And so the radius is 7 centimeters. And that's it. It's that easy. I'll see you guys in the next video.